Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Sensational. How are we, friends? I have had an unusual day, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. What's happening? Are we all okay? 2 lives in a row. That's right. Get your ducks in a row. That's me. I have come here, friends, to ask something of you. I don't ask very much of you. I try not to ask too much of you, but I've come here to ask something of you. I need cheering up. So let's have a nice stream, shall we? How are we? I need cheering up too. Pop the Femo. Hold me. Give me a hug. A cuddle. Not a Miami cuddle, though. We're not having any of that. That's a weird cuddle. But a nice cuddle. Between friends. Let's say hello to some people, shall we? Oh, Murray. Oh, Murray. How are you? Pop the Femo. Buonasera. I cannot speak in Italian or French or anything, as somebody was mentioning yesterday. MJ, HMVT, how are you? I am well. What's happening there, friends? Oh, nice. Hello. Oh, Sauvage Parfum is Paroli wearing. Steph's. I have both. Nice. I got backups of 2012. Doc likes 2017 more because of the Elemi. I need to revisit those. I genuinely need to revisit those and see how I still feel about it. I may have changed my mind. As unlikely as that is. Excuse me whilst I pour some wet. Ooh. So, today I visited Harrods and tried the new Creed Millesime 1849 in Absolute Aventus. What did you think, HMVT? The bottles have got ghosts in them. I have the Cologne version on the way, says Paroli. Good evening, Juro. Good evening, Dushan. Oh, Murray. Evening, Rich. Hope all is well. Well, it's been better, but it's also been worse. Scent of the day is Portrait of a Lady, just immense. Happy days. I keep Portrait of a Lady for the spring and the summer, though. I have to be ruthless in these things because I split my collection in half. Oh! I just had to quickly run out and get some chips because I didn't have anything for my tea tonight, so I needed to eat. And now I have eaten, and now I'm back. Tim Wilcox, welcome. I got your email. That website's weird. Doesn't work for me. But I did find out what you were. Looking for. Robert W, welcome. My scent of the day is one I made at a perfume workshop in Grasse. And how is it? Duchenne has Hashish Home. Howdy. Scent of the day is Amouage Jubilation 25. I have J40 sitting on my table. Why aren't you wearing that instead? Boz, welcome. Did you smell Silky Woods Elixir? Who the fuck cares about Millesime? Well, I don't know what Silky Woods are, but they can fuck right off. I hate them kind of names. You know, names where they've just like, I don't know. What's up, fellas? The new Millesime 1849 smells like a lighter Diaghilev by Roja, says HMVT. Oish. Just what everybody wanted, Apparently he's got rid of the Parfum colognes. Huh? Turn on, tune in, drop out. Hi. Hello. Scent of the day is number 19 ADP. Dusty Bitter Green. Yes. I think I had number 19, but I think I sold it. I've got Cristal. We want Duck hot take on New Creed. Which one? Aventus Absolute. Shit. It's fucking shit. Smells like a clone of Cedra Boise, which is shite. You know. Excuse me. Hi, Westernude. Scent of the day is Gucci Absolute. Nice. Brody just got some warm loaves out of the oven. Paul Femo was wearing Bal d'Afrique. It was fun, but I haven't got any compliments on the perfume yet. Don't worry about compliments, Robert. It's all make-believe. You know? It's all make-believe, mate. It's all just shit that it's all just shit that people say to try and get you to buy more perfume. Especially if you click on their link. You know? Aventus Absolute is rather disappointing, says HMVT. I think it's genuinely crap, like. Papa Femo says, today I wore Bal d'Afrique, but I don't feel particularly good in it. That's a shame. Scent of the day is Cartier's 11 L'Heure Perdue. Top 5 most bizarre scents I have ever tried. What's bizarre about it? You want my take on Creed 1849? I know somebody who was trying to sell an old bottle of that. If you go back through my community posts, there should be me with a picture of the bottle saying, if anybody wants to buy this, let me know. Nobody ever let me know. You know what I mean? So the people were not bothered. Bob says, I just ordered Spice Bomb Infrared. I own the original and I think I will like this one. I hope you do like this one and you haven't wasted your money. I am texting Houdini. Now you mention it. Excuse me. Okay. But you fancy guys don't want to talk about that. I can't remember what it smells like. I mean, if I had smelled it, I would probably say it was absolutely shit, but that's life, isn't it? Somebody would like to know my scent of the day, Descend into the Absurd. Oh, hi. How are you? Welcome. There's a few people turned up today that I simply do not know who they are. Who they are, I should say. But welcome. I hope you are well. Thank you for coming to my stream. I've had a weird day. Ended up feeling like absolute crap. So here I am, an impromptu stream, because you always cheer me up. You're so prejudiced, it's sick, Duck. I'm just jaded by shit perfumery. You know? I'll tell you what's not shit perfumery. It's this. It is my 15ml of Melt My Heart by Strangelove, and this is my scent of the day. Chocolate, orris, lots of orris, buttery, and a little bit of oud. Fantastically well made, but obscenely expensive. One of these 15ml at retail will cost you a whopping £185. You can stuff that up your arse for nothing and fuck off while you're doing it. That is a silly price. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. It smells like creamy vanilla and party balloons. Has that plastically balloon or I know exactly the kind of smell you mean. It's a fucking horrible smell. Hello, Marco Morelli. How are you? I'm all right. I just bought Tempo by Diptyque. I love the patchouli mate combo with violet leaf. What do you think about it? I liked it, but didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay what they were asking for. I think there's other better patchoulis. But if you like it, I hope you enjoy it. Oh, I hope you love it. I hope it makes you happy. Hello, Kratos. This isn't shite, believe me, and I don't want to spend like €250 every time just so I can feel like a serious perfume lover. Well, that's all right. I think it might be shite, though. I've got a horrible feeling that it is shite. But we'll see. I'll try it next time I'm in the shops. I was wearing Thu Crop 2023 earlier today, so I can offer some of my thoughts on that. It's supposed to be an oud and hemp, oud and weed fragrance. Please offer your thoughts. Hello, Rich. Hello, Kranos. Turn on, tune in, drop out. Which Cristal and your thoughts on it? Can't decide between the three, and they changed the bottles now. I think the Eau de Parfum. I think I like the Eau de Parfum. And they have changed the bottles. I've actually got a vintage one, I think. Certainly an older kind of bottle. To me, the hemp has some vibes of bitter fougere and some tones of sweet rhubarb. It has zero oud, like most of their crop line, though. So it's like a jammy rose oud then, if it's got zero oud in it. Isn't that right, Divine? That's a callback to yesterday. Hello, Adam D. Boz. Stephs. Thanks for the answer. What is your favourite diptyque? I saw in the video that you like 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain. I agree that is an interesting spicy sandalwood and vanilla combo. Yes. Volutes is probably my favourite, you know. Volutes is probably my favourite diptyque, if I'm being honest. I do like the candles. Which are fantastic, actually. They're absolutely amazing. Science to Say by Strangelove is the worst thing I have smelled. Yes. Right up there with Ispazon by Parfums de Marly and Coupe Square by what they're called. What are they called? Coupe Square by Bond Number 9. It's a terrible perfume, terrible house. There's an argument to be made that Coupe Square is the worst. Not Coupe Square. That Bond Number 9 is the worst niche house in the world. They are truly terrible. I was watching for a few dollars more. Well, if you would like to give me a few dollars more, please do. Oh. Also, friends, if you would like to like the stream, please don't let me stop you. Liking the stream is something we can all Rich, I wake up today with an email suggesting Joe Malone Pomegranate Noir for £18 from 118. When I investigated further, it was all lies. What? Bond Number 9 had some hyped ones back in the day. Yes, I've got one. Don't get us wrong. I've got one. What do I have? I have New Harlem. I've got the original New Harlem formulation, but I wouldn't pay what they're asking for now. It's silly. The prices out there are absolutely despicable, like. Adam says they were suggestion for the Black Friday promotions. I mean, how did they lie? Come on, guys. 43 watching and only 23 likes. And only 20 likes, says Nick. Did you say there's new limited edition homages, Crystal and Gold? They are modern retakes of their first releases in 1983. Limited editions, 500 each produced. Take a guess what the rumoured price is. £1,000. I had the Gentleman's Cologne, which turned into gold, and I sold it to Audrey Jane. And fuck me, that was a proper perfume. Like a really properly high-end, vintage, brilliant perfume. Audrey Jane, if she was here and not off having a life with her baby, she would be able to tell you, you know? Fuck me, it is some absolutely sensational perfume. Have you seduced her with your fancy perfume collection? Who's that? What are we talking about? There were suggestions for the Black Friday promotion. No, a real date or a video one? What? Making I like to wait till past when he asks me kindly, so humble. A real one? Well, that does it. Oh no, tickling sounds. There better not be tickling sounds. Are you hearing weird noises? I think it might just be you. Hold on. I've put the microphone back in. Fragrance Journey, welcome. How are you, sir? How are you keeping? Did you ever get any more Maître Parfumé at Gantier? I am going to do my final impressions tomorrow, I think. Just get that shit out. And then the Maître Parfumé Gantier will be closed. Clean better not find out, says the boss. What about? It's more, actually, says Divine. The rumoured price is €1,600. Fuck that. That is absolute baboonery. That is mental. Don't pay that. Just don't pay that out of spite. You can't be. That is obscene. I asked Renaud Samon on Persila's stream the other day. I atted him and everything. Put his name in the chat, and I was like, do you fancy reformulating Jubilation? I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was basically, could you re-release Jubilation 25 in the original formula? Didn't get a response because they could, and they could do it at the original price as well, in my opinion, but they won't. It's 50% galaxolide, apparently. That's not an expensive material. Or maybe it is. But there's a lot of it about. You know what I mean? Like, when people found that out about galaxolide being a lot of Jubilation, then they were like pretty. There was some snorting, you know what I mean, and not coke. The snorting going on was people being like, huh, or that kind of snorting, you know, like Jubilation 25, one of the best fragrances of the century, 50% galaxolide, peasants, you know what I mean? But it is amazing. I should do my top 10 fragrances of the century, shouldn't I? I wouldn't be able to pick Balenciaga Pour Homme. I wouldn't be able to pick Fahrenheit, Smolto. Egoist, Feminine Dubois. Juby is overrated as fuck, says Spaced Out. Overrated? Overrated? I'm not sure it is overrated. Is it overrated? It might be overrated, actually, now you mention it. You know. It's rated highly. It's rated highly. It's rated highly by me, to be fair. I think it's really good. First time I smelled that, I was like, oof. Oof. I made a strange little noise, you know. Juby isn't overrated, it's underrated, if anything, says Divine. No, now I don't know what to do. Is it underrated? Is it overrated? Is it just about the correct amount of rated? Paul Befemo says, never smelled Jubilation. I tried a few Amouage and I like them, but love only Lyric. I think that Amouage as a brand is overrated generally. And you would think I would love most of the stuff that they make, but I don't. Like, I really don't. You know? It's, no tuber is really about Juby nowadays. Yeah, because it's not a new release. You know? It's not a new release where everyone gets a free bottle. It's fucking sensational. I remember one of the best reviews I've ever seen is Mark's Jubilation 25 video. He went for 45 minutes. It was a proper review. You know? It was a massive, massive review. I couldn't talk about one fragrance for 45 minutes. Could I? Could I talk about one fragrance for 45? I suppose it depends what it was. If you truly love it, you probably could. So I was looking into buying some Melt My Heart today. Someone has a bottle on British eBay for £500, which is £260 under retail. And I bid him £300. And he came back and said, look, the cheapest I can do, it's £375, which is better than half price, just. And I was like, oh, come on now. Come on now. Do a little bit better. $375 is a great price if I want it. It's brand new as well. There's no fucker like gonna get it at that sort of price. I remember Fosco saying he could find them for what equated to about $300 or $350, which was about £300. So it's fucking high-end materials, like, and it's made by a proper perfumer, you know. It's like Melt My Heart is like the kind of fragrance that indie perfumers think they make, but they don't, you know, because what they make is usually smells a bit shit. But Lord of Miel is like a proper perfumer who knows how to make perfume properly. And in those fragrances, he has used a fat pound of iris, a little bit of oud. Ooh, someone has donated. Sorry, I've just seen that. Someone supported you via coffee, this says. Why can't I say thanks? I can't reply. Descend into the absurd. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You are very kind. And I do not deserve it. But appreciate it massively, I do. But it won't let me say thanks. Like, you used to be able to send a thank you message, and now it just says, here's a message. Darby is Rich's talking record. I don't know how long. How long would a Balenciaga Pour Homme video be? It would be pretty huge. It'll be pretty huge. I imagine I could probably talk about that for longer than Robes could talk about Jubilation 25. I mean, it's not that it's like a pissing contest or anything, but I'd probably end up just saying the same thing. Ooh, Rich, you should make a video about all the perfumes that made you say ooh. That's not what I would call it, but I could do that. Excuse me, sorry. Hey, welcome, Frank. How are you doing? It's underrated because it's an elite fragrance, but it is rated less than other tier 2 recognized niche fragrances like Grand Soir. Grand Soir shit. Grand Soir is absolutely dink. I had a 10 mil of that and gave it away. It was shit. I just thought it was so basic. It was all the Coeur de Jean. It was all the Coeur de Jean bells and whistles, which were basically very. It was well put together, but it was just so bland, so bland. I was just like, where's like I was just expecting something to happen, and it never did. It was just flat, and it smelled just like the most tame amber ever. Considering the same person made Absolute Paul Soir, you know what I mean? I was shook. I was very shook. Jonathan says Amouage is one of the few houses I'd consider owning all of their releases. That's a statement. That would set you back a pretty penny as well, actually. Hmm. Somebody loves what you do, and they have supported me on coffee as well. It's Bilbo. Yes, Bilbo has provided me with money for horse riding lessons, which is probably a good idea. If you have never seen me ride a horse, then you have, well, I don't want to say you've never lived, but you know, you haven't laughed as heartily as you would if you saw me ride a horse. It would definitely improve your day, if not your week, or even your life. You know. But thank you, Bilbo Fraggins. What a nice Bilbo you are. I can't even say thanks anymore. Why not? Is it something that like you is it something that you can turn off when you donate to someone? But thank you, Bilbo. You are very kind. And just people don't have to give. People can give of their own volition, and if you wish to, that is sound, and if you don't wish to, that is also sound. I will love you all the same. Lyric Woman is wonderful. I've heard this many times. The only one almost worth the price, says Papa Fennel. Grand Soir is amber for babies. It's definitely bland enough to be like a kid's fragrance. Have you seen that Dior brought out a kid's fragrance recently, going after the Creed kids fragrance? The Creed kids fragrance actually wasn't bad. It was much less offensive than some of their more recent releases. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Ooh, Frank is wearing Balenciaga Pour Homme. Well done. I might do that tomorrow. All releases is crazy. I love Zerjoff and Initio. I'd never own the whole house. Initio are really bad. Initio are a really bad housemate. Like they're worse than Parfum de Marley. Initio for me. Initio just smell like amber woods to me. Guys, if interested at all, look at Freighter Works demo formulas. Google it. Yes, GCMS demos, including Balenciaga Pour Homme. Interesting to see what's in it. I myself have the ingredients to make a lot of them. Is there oud in it? Is there oud in it, Frank? Is that the case? Because there's big rumors. There's big rumors that Balenciaga Pour Homme was the first fragrance to have oud, Western fragrance to have oud in it. Right? Now, I don't know. I think it's just a fat patchouli, like buffed out, like a really good patchouli, but buffed out with like plummy nuances and like lots of fruity kind of things. I get like fruitiness from Balenciaga Pour Homme, right? No oud in his recreation. Yeah. Did he find any though in the JCMS data? You know? Because there's that talk. I can't remember who gave the talk, but there's that talk that's on YouTube about, was it Michael Edwards that gave the talk? The audio quality is absolutely woeful. It's absolutely fucking awful. It has a lot of dark patch. That's what I think. I think it's got a fat, dark patchouli in it. That's like, it's enhanced with like really rich, resinous, like fruity notes, you know, like fucking thick, dark berry kind of things, you know, to bring out all the different kind of fruitiness from the patchouli and the woodiness. But not oud, not for me. But there are a lot of people Michael Edwards, he's probably forgot more about perfume than I'll ever know. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a Balenciaga Pour Homme tester with oud listed, says Jonathan. See? And Jonathan doesn't lie. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just don't get it. I don't get, like, the kind of oud. But then again, I'm not an expert. So it's up in the air, you know? It's up in the air. There's a bottle of Balenciaga Pour Homme on British eBay for £250. And honestly, for the state of the perfume market at the minute, the fact that that's been up there for as long as it has is a crime, because you cannot be selling stuff. I don't know what Sauvage goes for now, right? Like, is it like 180? What's Sauvage Dior? What is your retail price? I don't want it from there. Dior, all the Sauvage products. So Sauvage Elixir, Sauvage Eau de Parfum, Sauvage 100ml, 97 quid on Dior. I thought it was like fucking twice that. It's still an awful perfume though. So let's take it another way. Let's not compare it to designers. Let's compare it to niche, because it's better than most niche fragrances now, in my opinion. Almost all niche fragrances. I should say it's my favorite fragrance, so I'm not exactly going to give you a bad review of it. But for 250 quid for 100ml of Balenciaga Pour Homme, right? Look at the price of Frederic Marles. There isn't a Frederic Malle that's better than Balenciaga Pour Homme, in my opinion. Not a chance. Look at the price of Xerjoff, Initio, Parfum de Marly. It's better than all of them. It's better than all of them. For 250 quid, if you're in Britain and you want a high-end fragrance, a Balenciaga Pour Homme, buy it, wear it for a month. Wear it for 2 months. Wear it for a while. Get to know it. And you will see what I mean. Absolutely bonkers. It's insane that fragrance used to go for like 30 and 50 quid, man. Fuck. I'm so glad I hoarded Balenciaga Pour Homme, says Frank. That was the last chance last year. Yep. I'm glad I've got as much as I've got. Like, I would buy that 100. I would buy that 100ml. In fact, I've thought about it. But, I don't know. Billable fragrance is like a dragon. War Grand Soir last week. Linear buttery candy amber lasts forever, says Frank. Got nothing to say, just listen to your soothing voice, Mitch. Do you like that voice, do you? Lots of people have commented about how much they like my voice, which I find strange because it's just my voice. You know what I mean? Maybe I should take up like ASMR. I'd make a fortune. Maybe I should take up just like reading books. I've seen Balenciaga, feels like Castorium to me. But who knows, back then I think they were taking the piss because people knew very little about oud at that time. Yeah, Freda has Patu Porom and other GCMS-based creations that make me want, that I want to make if I had time. I'm so glad I ordered Balenciaga Porom. I'm drenched in it right now. Yeah, it's fabulous. Now, I love Balenciaga Porom, says Jonathan, but to say there's not a Frederick Mall better, bold statement, my friend. I stand by it. I can't think of one if there is. Even Portrait of a Lady. Soir, yes, buttery warmth cut down to your heating bills. Nah, it's fucking, it's shite. Grand Soir's really poor. It feels so bland and ordinary and crap, you know? It just feels absolutely shit. Which I can't even lie. Audrey does have a velvety voice. She certainly does. She certainly does. Very velvety. Balenciaga Poor Home Eclipse is all Frederick Mall. It certainly does, Bob. I'm glad you agree. It's top perfume, that. Like Gerard Anthony made a lot of fragrances. No, he didn't make a lot of fragrances. What am I saying? That's exactly the opposite of what I wanted to say. Gerard Anthony made a lot of great fragrances. You know, Gerard Anthony. One of his less impressive to me was Crystal Ball by Balenciaga, that released in 2000. I thought that was really quite bad. It gave me a polish kind of vibe. Do you know when you're polishing stuff, or you're using polish, furniture polish. You know when that smell gets into your mouth, into your tongue, like onto your tongue, and it's like, yeah. That kind of smell, taste kind of thing. I got that from Crystal Ball. I don't know what it was about it, but I really didn't like it. And I would have thought I would, you know. It was just, there was something a little bit minging about it. I'm missing the wonderful stream because people keep calling me at my job, the swines. Just send them the link. Say, listen to this stream, it's absolutely riveting. Do you mind? Can you call back when he's finished? Say that. I'm sure they'll understand. That I wouldn't agree, Bobby. It's all emotional purchases. Pouches? You got an emotional pouch, have you, Pradeep? Pradeep's turning into a kangaroo with his emotional pouch. Oh, not sure what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I wasn't thinking of wearing Melt My Heart, but I wanted something nice and inoffensive for meeting my friend in public. We didn't. Fair play. So we just went to a cafe, and I had a bacon, brie, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I called it a brie LT because I am a fucking genius. That was galaxy brain type shit you've got there. Just an explosion of creativity. And it came with a salad, which was very nice. And I know that I'm getting old because my friend finished hers before I finished mine. She had a panini, which it seemed very nice too. I love me a BLT, right? So BLT with hot bacon, so like a bacon sandwich, right? Hot bacon, right? And get them to melt some brie on it and then put lettuce and tomato on after that. Absolutely mind-bogglingly brilliant. I shit thee not. Absolutely sensational. A Brielle tea. Courtesan fragrance do not excite me, says Stephs. No, they don't excite me either. I think it's an overrated house. We were talking about what's overrated before, and I just think Courtesan is I just think most of Courtesan's stuff's overrated. Don't get us wrong. Every once in a while, he'll create one of the best perfumes if he's like of their generation. He'll just throw one out there, like boom, there's Le Male, boom, there's Eau Noir. You know, as much as I hate to say it, Baccarat Rouge, massively successful perfume, even though I don't like it. In fact, I think it's shit. But there we are. I read on Wikipedia that Gerard Anthony made Force Majeure by Jacques Bogart. I think it's a great release. Force Majeure, I haven't smelled that. I thought I'd smelled all of the Jacques Bogart, but clearly I haven't. You know? Clearly I haven't. Welcome, Zhao. How are you, mate? Thank you for joining us again. It's always nice to see Zhao. Try and get Zhao. I'm gonna do a stream where I have people on. I'm try and get people like Carl Anderson on, Jonathan, Zhao, anybody. If anybody wants to come on, try and get Paroli to come on. You know? Anybody in the chat, Frank. Maybe even Boz. Maybe Boz. Paul Femo, you could come on. Adam, anybody. I'm naming all these people. Everybody watching, if you want to come on, we should do that. Not Galen, though. Never Galen. I've been sitting with Perry Ellis for Men 85 all day, and it struck me that I think it's a further venture on the idea of a Zorro pour on 1978. Yes, you were talking about that earlier. I don't think I've ever smelled it. Like, whenever I think of Perry Ellis, I think of that tall red bottle that looks like a dildo. You know? Some people eat fast as if they are on fire. Taste the damn food, for God's sake, says Paroli. I don't know if she was eating fast or I was just eating slowly. I think it was one of them jobs, you know. Eau Noir is the only, says Paul the Femme. Paris Ellie? The fuck is Paris Ellie? Perry Ellis, great designer back in the day. Courtesan is a celebrity now, not a perfumer, says Prodi. Call me naive, but I would be hyped for a Fahrenheit elixir. I would love to think it would be fucking brilliant, but I have a horrible feeling that it would be shit. I have a horrible, horrible feeling that it would be absolutely crap. Bomb, there is Narciso Rodriguez for him. Yes. Force Majeure is on my list. Galen, drop the link so I can ignore it. Unfortunately, I don't have a link to drop. I just don't have a link to drop. There is no link. This is a YouTube stream done through the YouTube app, not on StreamYard, you know? If I want guests on, I need to use StreamYard, so we'll do that at some point. Maybe it's in December, you know? We'll just have an open mic night if people want to come on and discuss. Excuse me whilst I hydrate, and I will hydrate. says, Absolute Polar Soir, Eau Noir and Le Male, I know you don't like it, are his only three good fragrances. So, I've never liked Le Male. It's not since I got like deeply into perfume, you know, that I'm against it. I like when it first came out, I was like, oof. I think it's the vanilla in it. I think it's too vanillic. You know, it's kind of sickly. It's got that kind of powdery vanillic aspect to it. It's just too much. But welcome, MM. I'd certainly agree with you that Absolute Polar Soir and Au Noir are brilliant. Like, second live stream in a row. Happy days, Joe. Yes. No, Galen is not welcome. Of course not. Hello, Rich. Hello, everyone. Scent of the day is Rose de Jamal. I needed my rose fixation for the month, says Pat Lester. You can't go wrong. It's one of the best smelling perfumes I own. A Piece of Me, Rose Bar and Narciso for him, EDT, are his three great ones. He has a few others. That's what we could talk about. We could talk about perfume as top three fragrances. Everybody could just come on and say which they think are a certain perfumer's top three. You don't have to own them. You don't have to show your bottles or anything like that. We could just discuss them, which would be interesting. You know? I will happily join your stream, Rich. Happy days. Scent of the day is Dirty Hinogi by Heretic. What's that like? I would have thought like a name like Dirty Hinogi would come from Comme des Garçons. I'd come on, but I can't talk much that right fragrance talk. Well, everyone is welcome. Fear not, Boz. Perry Alley Paris Alley would be their clone house name. Yes, it would actually, you're right. Wonder when someone will clone Scent Explore. Oh God. It's the last thing we need. Clones are the norm now. It's crazy. It is absolutely mad how it's they've just come and descended on, like a massive black cloud on the horizon, and you just see it getting closer and you think, fuck no, I'm getting wet here and there's very little I can do about it. You know what I mean? You've just got to try and find shelter and hope it blows over. Kind of what I'm doing with the situation at the minute. Well, Francis Curtis-Jean re-released Au Noir and the others. Why not re-release Fahrenheit Absolute? The problem is, I don't think people are like, the new ones smell exactly the same as the old ones. They don't. They simply don't. And Jonathan, you have got an Eau de Cologne Au Noir. So you know what I'm talking about. You smell the new Au Noir, they are not the same. And even if it is the new perfume. Where are we? I'm considering blind buying the new Au Noir. Don't do it. I have tried and own Sunshine Man. Don't blind buy it. There's no need to blind buy it. You will be able to smell it. There will be discount. There will be decanters somewhere. There will be samples you can buy online. Save yourself a fortune and just smell it first before you buy it. Don't just buy it, for fuck's sake. You might not like it. It's a very particular perfume. Like, what if you hate it and you've spent like $500 on it and you're just like, what have I done? Evening DMS. Kratos, welcome. How are you? I'm just looking for a barbershop cologne. The one I used as an aftershave is Parasso lotion with sandalwood and shea butter. Anything similar as a long-lasting cologne? Yes, there is. Sandalwood cologne by Elizabeth Arden. It's discontinued, but it is fantastic. It is a fantastic... There's Audrey Jane. How are you? How are you doing, love? You all right? We were talking about you earlier. We were talking about lovely voices. A lot of people were saying how much they think my voice is lovely. Boz uses it to get to sleep. Bless him. Like the stream, says Boz. Ciel de Gum. I would like to smell that. Did I hear right? Discussing top threes. It's an interesting one once in a while. It's just, you can't do that all the time. You can't talk the shit. Like, I don't mind a list. I do a list once a week. The thing is, my list is like it's not, my list isn't like top 10 fragrances to wear while somersaulting down the stairs with a fucking umbrella up your bum. Do you know what I mean? Like my weekly list, the fragrance rotation has got like a point, you know? Most Fahrenheit Franklins are pretty decent. Yeah, it's based on a great fragrance, that's why. Scent of the day is tobacco honey. Ooh, did you buy it, Shao? Do you like it? I saw you did a video about it, actually. I haven't watched it yet. Top 3 Le Delire Exquise. Go, says Frank. Love Absolute and Parfum. I love the Absolute. I've got a few bottles of the Absolute and a hat. Do you know what it is? I don't wear it enough. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to wear that tomorrow. Unless I change my mind. Tobacco Honey versus Tobacco Law. Go. Neither. But you can't have a guest if you can't drop the link. That's true. But I will. I do have a StreamYard account. So we will have people on. I don't mind having a few people on so we can all discuss, as long as everybody's reasonably well behaved. You know, I don't expect people to like not swear, or I don't expect people to like have to censor what they say unless they come on to say something absolutely scandalous, for which they will be fucking banished to the shadow realm. You know what I mean? Just like, I don't mind people saying things that I don't agree with, because I'm alright with that. I'm secure, you know. I'm all right with that in my soul. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm a big lad now, you know. I can deal with it. It's okay. Look, me and Divine never agree about anything on perfume, but I would weep bitterly if I never saw him again, you know. And it's the same with everyone. I'd be. As long as it's an opinion about fragrances, I would never fall out with someone over an opinion on fragrances. Just don't try and tell me up is down and black is white and left is west. You know what I mean? I'm not having it. I'll look into Sandalwood Cologne by Elizabeth Arden. Thanks, Rich. It is really nice. It is really, really, really nice. I thought Divine was dead. He doesn't want to be dead. What? He was only here a couple of minutes ago. Maybe me saying that I think Initio is terrible has made him feel like shit and just killed him off. I hope a friend can get me a bottle of Eau de Hermes for €45. €45? That's cheap as chips, that, Andre. He got Bellamy for the same money a couple of months ago. That is a bargain. That is a true bargain. That's a lot of fragrance for €45. Good grief. Whoa, I meant the John Waters character. Ah, right. Stop killing people off, Galen, for God's sake. Who else is excited about the Max 40 and Navitus, says Galen? What, are you saying that somebody is actually excited? For someone else to be excited, someone has to be excited first. There has to be like a patient zero, you know? It has to be like the ground zero, the initial victim, you know? I don't think anyone is. Maybe Max 40 is excited for it. I don't think Max 40 can get excited. There's Divine. Thank God. Scent Explorer is doing fragrance with Navitus in collab with Redolescence and Max 40. Zennial, it's called. Would be amazing if you reviewed it. I will try and get a sample through some nefarious means. I will have to. I'm not having them find out where I live or fucking all sorts, because like I don't want them to like spirit themselves into my presence, you know. Friends, if you would like to like the stream, I would appreciate it greatly. I don't like asking, but I will ask. I do a lot of things I don't like doing, but that's life, really. So if liking streams is your game, Rich Mitch is my name. I'm absolutely lost now. I don't know what to say next, but just do what you like. Fuck it. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I'm a parched human. They're not the same, says Jonathan. Tobacco honey is growing on me fast, says Andre. That's a lot of money. Is it like tobacco law? Andre, representing Romania. Tremendous. I'm curious, I'll admit, about tobacco honey. Pleased to meet you. Bosnia, yes, says Boz. International relations blooming in my chat. How fantastic. I find tobacco law more sweet and sickly than tobacco honey. Tobacco law, aye. It was pretty rotten. I agree with It was pretty shite. I got that from tobacco law. I was like, oh, it's not great. It was like a really bad Ambra Nargile, you know. Just leave it and do something else. I wouldn't care. Demaché, Ambra Nui, pretty fantastic. Leather Oud, pretty fantastic. Oud Ispahan, at the time it was fantastic. Looking back, now it was kind of like the Oud Rose market's being done to death. Queer Canage is an absolutely fantastic perfume, which I love still. Patchouli Imperial, which I wore the other day, is absolutely amazing, which I love. Fahrenheit Absolute. People forget he made Fahrenheit Absolute, which was amazing as well. You know, Eau Sauvage Parfum. Zenil and Daniil say, welcome, Pep. How is Pep? I hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I would like to smell that, but I'd hate to review it and then like one of them comment on the video. Although I have a feeling they kind of know that I'm on the other side of the other side of the divide. They're trying to make money out of this. It's not a hobby for them anymore. It's a business, and it shows, which is a shame. You know, I refer you all back to Red Essence's review in about 10 years ago of Bois d'Argent. Look into his eyes. His naturally coloured eyes in that video. And look at the glee, the excitement. You know? Look at how much he enjoys it. And loves it. And what a fragrance as well, you know? Now, I haven't seen him that excited about anything. Well, I say anything. I mean, you only see what you see on the... videos, but I haven't seen him feel like that or talk about a fragrance like that for a long time. You know? I find tobacco law more sweet and sticky than tobacco honey. I prefer tobacco honey. I'm convinced someone is tickling. No one is tickling. Calm yourself. Your prices are keeping me from doing it. Those hikes, it's disgusting. Don't reward their price hike behavior with your money. Right? If we just stop buying their fragrances, they will at least have to stop increasing the price. Right? And if we do it for long enough, then they'll have to bring their prices down to get people to start buying them again. You know? This is where, like, it's like going on fragrance strike. You know what I mean? But I mean, we can't help ourselves. Just don't buy it from retail. You know? Don't put the money in their pockets. Don't buy designer fragrances from at retail. Spent some time in the US too a few years back, says Andre. That girl singer from Infected Rain, Lena, she's from Moldova, don't like tobacco honey. When's the next stream, by the way, Doug? I'll get Jubilation 40 tomorrow and Dear 40 likely Thursday. Pass. I don't plan streams. I kind of just knock them up when I get the feeling, you know. A lot of it's to do based on like how I'm feeling with my health, you know, how I'm feeling in myself, whether I'm in the mood. Today I needed cheering up, which you have done. It's only been an hour and I feel a lot better, you know. So I don't know. It could be tomorrow. It could be Thursday. I could do one every day this week if I felt like doing it. I probably won't. I'll almost certainly do one on Thursday. But we'll see. Sebastian said Jubilation 40 smells nothing like the Jubilation 25. That is a shame. Sebastian said it smells camphorous. I have a sample in hand. I haven't sprayed it, but the sample smells of Jubilation 25. Thank God. Tobacco honey is basically a delicious sweet honey with some clove, a nice tobacco accord, and the chocolatey oud and the dry down, which is the best part of the fragrance, in my opinion, says Zhao. I wouldn't mind smelling them. I wouldn't mind smelling them. Who's Audrey? Audrey Jane, of course. What do you mean, who's Audrey? Guerlain stopped making good art and materials a good while ago, says Spaced Out. Yeah, not wrong. Delphine got ambering away and added some tobacco and honey and called it tobacco honey, says Brody. Scent of the day, Lana Weed Alarm. Lucky scent it is. Wink, says Supply and Demand. Oi, oi. I listened to the rest of the live I missed from during my workout. I almost fell asleep on the bench, then laughed when you made the Apple Watch disappear. That was a terrifying moment. That was an absolutely terrifying moment. I thought Divine was dead, says Galen, who's killing people off. In the opening, tobacco honey kind of reminds me of tobacco vanille without the sweet dried fruits. Why does Chanel's perfumes never last on the skin but stick on the clothes? You must be going nose blind. Zennial sounded okay, but single malt fragrances aren't really for me. Never smelled Navitus that I thought was any good. Where is Dura Rose? I'm wearing now his favourite tea scent, Epic Woman 56. Dura Rose has just moved house. And he has been busy and he likes doing things. I think he's just trying to stay away from YouTube, to be honest. Like, Geddy's... Not that I advocate such behaviour. You know what I mean? But if that's what he wants to do, let him crack on. I have an awful feeling I'm gonna be sick at some point tonight. Max 50. Max 50. In the end, tobacco honey is a fantastic honey tobacco scent with a chocolate oud in the base that is 10 years late. Says Scented Moments, yes. Zennial is 125 ml for $355. But it's 30% off for Scent and Explore, so $248.50 for a Navitus. That is a joke and a half. I can buy 90 ml of Initio for that. Why would you do any of that to yourself? I mean, for $250, for £250, you could buy 100 ml of Balenciaga Pour Homme, blow all of those fragrances. You put all of those put all the Navitus together, put all the Initio together, right? Stack them all up, and none of them, even combined, right, would live up to Balenciaga Pour Homme. Not having that. Bollocks, they're all shite. But if that's what you want to spend your money on, you knock yourself out. Nobody paying attention to my question. Nice manners, you self-preoccupied people. Who's this? Who's talking? Everyone just talks about their own things. This is anarchy. Yes, it is. Fragrance unites people, says Andrew. Yes, it does. A shared interest. We all come together to talk about fragrances and tell each other off for liking things that we don't like. You know what I mean? Versace Oud Noir, I would choose L'Homme Ideal over the new Privé Guerlains. Probably. I've got a bot. I still haven't put my vintage Noir piece up for sale, but I should. Is there any Initios that you still want, Divine, says Carl? I wonder where Dev is. I hope he's alright. Sure he's alright. You're probably asleep, being a good boy. He's only young. Tobacco Law was a scrubber, absolutely, Tim. It was pretty shocking for me. With all the hype, I need to sample tobacco honey now, says Pat. Absolute Aphrodisiac is one that I'm still considering. It's a mildly feminine medicinal vanilla fragrance. I already own 5. 5? Audrey, how is the baby? A big unit. Thinking of getting a sample of Slumberhouse Keist. Want that peach. Versace versus Dream of Versace Man, the OG Pour Homme. Had a bottle of that. I think I gave it to Richie G. What's the best mainstream oud rose accord according to you? Ulysse Vam, Santal Royale, Ombre Nomad. I would go with, if you want something reasonably priced that you can get at discounters, I would go with Montre by Ducita. No discernible amber woods. If you're all right with Amber Woods, you could go with Oud Palau, but they've put the price of that right up. For some reason, I paid like 105 quid for that a good while ago, you know. But now they want like 150, which is silly because it's only 75 mil. Welcome, Basic Malarko. How are you doing? The vintage Versace Llama is so underrated. Absolutely, it is. I was taking a minute to think of them, boss. Don't be a victim. It's unbecoming. Absolutely, don't be a victim. I've been having to deal with a professional victim in my life. They will suck the life from you and make you feel ill. More ill than you already are, especially if you're me. And I am me. Oops. It would appear victim, lol, this guy with his hippie philosophy. Hippie philosophy? I think I have to try that. I remember one vanilla they had. It was over strong. Or do they have more vanilla scents? Uber strong. Tobacco Laura is like Baccarat Rouge 550, 540. Veramos, sweet from Jean Grand Soir, and tobacco from Mali. Herod. Oof. Oh, sucks. The number 5 Christmas gift set from Chanel is beautiful. I haven't seen it. This is a tough crowd, says Bob. Keeps me sharp. Welcome, Micah. Audrey's just denies everything and says she hasn't got a clue who Audrey is. Richard, we are waiting for your opinion of Sheep Rapalatan, and you will get it. Although today, thank you for reminding me. Well done. Today I received my package from Saint Celier. Thank you to Brooke. Sorry, I'm just throwing the stuff that she sent me around because I'm an ingrate. There are some samples of Isabella Larignon, which is pretty interesting, which I got for nothing, so thank you very much. But you will be pleased to see that I have got the Neela Vermeer sample set, the Fragments by Neela Vermeer, and this, well, I don't know what that is. Neela Vermeer Creations, Nirral. I also got this little booklet, and we know how much I love a booklet. So we have Treyi, Mohua, Bombay Bling, Ashoka, which is meant to be absolutely amazing, Piccola, Riley. Sorry to anybody who speaks the native tongue, because I have just utterly butchered that. I expect a knock on the door from the police for that. But apparently this is the new one, and it's got Nirral, it's called, and that's what this sample is. So obviously they've just released this one, and they have put it into, or as an extension to, the sample set. So I will be looking forward to that. These have gone straight to the top of the list. I'm going to do these next because so many people have been talking about them in such glowing terms, including Jonathan, whose opinion I respect highly. Excuse me whilst I breathe. Fuck's sake. I will be trying them next after I conclude the Maître Parfumé Argantier, which was a remarkable series, if not for the first video. Because I simply said, this is amazing. These are amazing. Everything is amazing. The first 4, I've never had that before. Welcome, Rachel. How are you? Super Chappy fast. Chappy super fast now. Duck's a celebrity, says Prodeep. I'd love to buy the rebottled Gourmand Coquine. We finished that bottle. It's a hell of an effort when any of us finish a bottle, isn't it? Okay. I will get to everybody's chats, don't worry. I won't stop the stream without getting to everybody's chats. Look, there's a big baby, says Bob. Calm down and lick the stream, says Supply and Demand. Maximilian Must Know, an absolute hero, a legend of the community, who no longer provides content to us, which is a crying shame. I wish Dior kept Queer Canage and Leather Rude, probably the best releases in the Privé line. 2 of the best, I would agree. Au Noir, Bois d'Argent. I would seriously, like, this is a spoiler, kind of. If I did a top 10 perfumes of the century, which I will do a video like that one day, top 10 perfumes of since 2000, Bois d'Argent would be right there. Right there. You can bet your bloody life on that. It is fucking brilliant. It could even be top. You know? What a perfume that is. Good grief. I'm going to do my top 10 pickups of 2023. That's not my top 10 releases of 2023. But my top 10 pickups. And there have been some absolute heroic perfumes that have turned up in my collection this year. Good grief. My strategy of not just like the shotgun, like I took the shotgun approach and bought loads of everything. And then I started to sift through them and start selling stuff off that I never wear and all that kind of thing. And then reinvesting the money in stuff like smaller amounts of like stuff that I love, you know? So that video will come in January. Top 10 pickups of 2023. So look forward to that if you're inclined to do so. We come together. We do. How dare you? Noir Piece is fantastic. I dare with the greatest of ease. Where ducks dare. And I do dare. Who goes dare? Me. Anyway, the Noir Piece, I'm just not wearing it. It's very clovey. This vintage one. It's a fucking shit ton of clove. Oof. And I've come to realise if clove is the main subject, I don't know if you can see that, can you? Can you see that? It's got an 8-digit batch code. For those interested, the batch code is 17445026, which predates the Estee Lauder by a couple of years, a good couple of years, I think. See you later, Kratos. Thank you for coming. Anybody interested in Rogers Bergdorf Goodman Parfum? Limited to 100 bottles. The 100ml is 1,100 euros, I believe. No. Amouage Memoir, says Audrey Jane. Welcome, Basic Malago. Well, personally, and I like tobacco law, so that's one nose I trust that likes it, says Frank. Some news from the Dior rep in Selfridges today. The Privés will be in a new size of 100ml, and the 125ml and 40ml bottles will be discontinued. Patchouli Imperial is definitely discontinued. That is ugly scenes, and I will tell you why. The Patchouli Imperial was one of the best ones, but I'm not surprised it doesn't sell. But it's brilliant in my opinion. You've got to be a big patchouli lover, and I don't think patchouli soliflors are kind of like in vogue. You know what I mean? But it's not just patchouli for me, which kind of like is a contradiction in terms. I've said patchouli soliflor. It's not just patchouli. Like it is the featured note, but it's got this lovely ambery sandalwood kind of thing going on. Memoir is fantastic, both iterations. Oh no, prepare the credit card, Duck. Yes, there's Neil of Amira calling me name. Thinking of Noir a piece, but can only find the most recent Estes. Still worth it. Worth it still, says Micah. If you like it, yes, it depends. It's your money. Next up, Argos. No. Next up, Neil of Amir. Those Argos will come, I promise, because I've got them. I just need to stop buying more sample sets. But that was the last one Brooke had left, so I just wanted to grab it while I could. Duchafort's Timbuktu is fantastic also, says Basic Malago. Oh, nice. Everyone's saying hello. Welcome, Rachel. Mohur is also great, says Fosco. I'm looking forward to trying these, I am. Dior angers me, says Frank. I'm on the lookout for a good price on a sugar. Had a great year of buying, says Supply and Demand. I feel like I have as well. Duck is going to New York City. Duck is not going anywhere near New York City. Believe that. Noir a piece is an M word. I don't know what that means. Anybody buying anything on Black Friday? I'm waiting for Xerjoff promo and also hoping to see good promos at specific stores to get limited editions. Some Electimus. Irish boozy chocolate with Guerlainade. Gourmand cocaine. How much is the rebottled one? No idea. I'm done with Dior for good, says Spaced Out. Don't blame me. I see people still buying those Roger exclusives and then crying as little babies because they become the regular line. Tom Ford's been up to that shit as well, hasn't he? Been a naughty boy. Have you ordered from Spray before? Italian boutique. They'll have 30% off, I suspect. I just checked. Gents only. Has Musk Therapy, Paragon and Oud for happiness. Can't get it there. Been looking at Patchouli Imperial before. Is super lost. No good luck yet. I can ask ordered before because their promos are only for existing customers, but I unlock my perks by 5 temples for €40. Whew! I've caught up with the chat. I never thought, well, I will accept your applause. I need to go to the bathroom, friends. I've been holding this in since Grand Soir. Richard's all-time top 10 would include Balenciaga, Pour On, Bois d'Argent, and Taste, Tobacco, Oud, Mer, Ardent, Dior on 25, Egoist, Feminita, Dubois, maybe the Night, Fahrenheit, Koros. Am I right? You're not far wrong, you know. You're not far wrong. That you've just done me out of a video there. Welcome, Manly Sense. How are you? Yeah, I'll tell you what, you're not far off there. At all. At all. It would be a difficult video to do an all-time top 10, though. You know, because the amount of stuff I'd have to leave out would be outrageous. Right, I am actually going to the bathroom. Give me a minute. I'll be back. It's fucking warm in here, is it not? Oh, it's so warm in here. It's absolutely scandalous. I am melting. It is quite outrageously warm, actually. I'm going to fucking open the window. Oh, fucking heating's on full blast as well, my God. what has happened in here. Like, I'm fucking, like, genuinely feeling a bit fucking woozy, like. You know what I mean? Thank you for sticking with me, friends. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. So, I was away for 3 minutes. Let's see where I am. I think I may try Soul Cafe. Who's that by? Just respraying Balenciaga. I wonder where the plummy fruit comes from. That plummy fruit fits in with the patchouli, and I think that gives like the patchouli this kind of like rich, thick, syrupy. Like, it's blended so well you can't tell where one thing ends and another thing begins. But if you zoom in on something, it's kind of like quantum fucking physics, isn't it? Like, you can tell the momentum of something, but you can't tell its position, or you can tell its position, but you can't tell its momentum. That's how this Balenciaga is blended. Like, you can either zoom in on one note, right? But you can't see, like, but if you step back from it, you can't find anything. You know what I mean? That quantum mechanics analogy might have been shit. Have you ever seen a Velasquez? If you get right up close to a Velasquez painting, you can see all the individual strokes, right? And as you zoom back, as you walk back away from it, it begins to become a hole and you can't see any of the brush strokes anymore. That's what Balenciaga Pour On's like. If you get right up close to it, you can only see one note, but if you pull away from it, you get the whole. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Maybe rose damascones. The best amber scents is Duchamp. That would be Amber Sultan. Amber Sultan would be in Rich top 3 or 5 at least, yes. I need to get to a perfumery and smell some new stuff. Tired of samples and Neiman's. Just order loads in. Just get out there and just start buying sample sets like I do. That will open your eyes. Samples are such a fucking expensive habit, says Divine. I'm down 4 figures on samples this year, I guarantee it. I don't think I'm down 4 figures, but I've spent a lot on samples and not decants, but samples. I wear mitts more than Amber Sultan, similar. Less herbs on mitts, says Frank. I like having samples though, because I can get full wears and get accurate reflections on everything I know. Many here only talk about specific brands, but I can hang with most YouTubers for niche results, for niche releases. Hell, I'm usually ahead of folks like Juste Rose and sometimes ahead of Max 42. That's not a major flex, to be perfectly honest. Like, he, yeah, just so uninterested in his content, I can't tell you. The longevity of Girl on Aqua, Allegoria, and Nerolia Vetiver is abysmal. They're all shite. They're all shite. They're not made to be good, those are they, though? Like the performance, anyway. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. It has a fizzy aldehyde too. What a masterful creation, this Balenciaga. Everything in it's brilliant. Everything about that fragrance is absolutely sensational. Oh, I'll see if I can get Richie G to join the stream one day. That'd be fun. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Getting Richie G involved. We'll see what he says. From the Chanel's exclusives, number 22 or Jersey? I'd have to remind myself of Jersey. I would have to remind myself of Jersey. But I don't think I like it. I bought Eugene samples for the fun of it. I already have the bottles, but the sample packs he makes look so cute, says Carl. Number 22 with bloody sparkles, says Audrey Jane. Audrey Jane perked up when she heard number 22 come out. It was like, they're talking about my other baby. I won most grab a jour for the first time last night. I enjoyed it for the first 6 hours, but then it just got to be too much as the night wore on. I got a little tired of it. It's bad when that happens with a fragrance, isn't it? It really puts you off. You get to a stage with a fragrance and you're like, ugh. You know what I mean? It's you do kind of there are those fragrances where they do get boring in the dry down because they just become quite monotonous. That's kind of what happens to me with amberwood. You know, it's just a long drone. I can arrange you a stream with Liz Moore, says Dushan. How much do you sell your Antaeus Sport for, says Steph's Pass. I'd have to look it up, I'm not sure. I like just happening onto Braves or releases when I do. Just happening onto Braves or releases. Brands. I like just happening onto brands or releases when I do. I never feel the need to race out for the hype stuff. There's so much out there, past and present, absolutely. There's a little bit of urgency with vintage stuff, which is why I went on that massive haul extravaganza for a while where I was just buying loads of shit because there's a very limited supply of discontinued stuff, whereas the hype stuff, it's all new and there's loads of it, you know? There's absolutely loads of it. And when people are like, oh, buy now, quickly, get this, get that, they're being disingenuous, which is the problem with influencers. They're being disingenuous, you know? There's no need to buy new releases quickly unless they're limited releases. And then if they're limited releases, they're obviously trying to pull some kind of stunt. You know what I mean? It was a sound. Oh my God, it's so hot. Some fresh air in here. Aha. That'll do. Hot air escaping, fresh air coming in. Ugh. Where are we? How's you and Koros these days, Duck? Yeah, I'm back. I'm back happy with Koros. I just haven't worn it very much. It's fuck me. It's such an angry boy. There's not very much left in that bottle. I might give that bottle to Richie G. I gave him another one. I gave him a partial of Koros before, a vintage one. I don't know if he wears it. Friends, if you would like to like the stream, please do. I would appreciate it. If you haven't already liked it, if you have already liked it, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, we both went on a spree a few years ago, cleared out a news, that's right. Welcome, Michael Harness. How are you, sir? Gobble, gobble, gobble to all in the States and a happy day for everyone else. Hello there, mate. Hello there, Michael. How are you, sir? I think the Amberwoods in Bleu de Chanel works a lot better than in most new designers in niche scents. One of the first mass uses of Amberwood was in Bleu de Chanel, you know? It was one of the first perfumes that kind of, I can't think of anything prior to it, to be honest. The Eau de Toilette, especially, you know, it was big, verbose, scratchy. Felt like it was trying to take your eyes out with its nails. Welcome, Scott Bear. How are you? Not ideal. Bleu de Chanel, I don't know. I think I was wearing Roadster at the time when it came out. I've always been a big fan of Roadster. They've discontinued it. They discontinued Roadster, the fragrance, when they discontinued the watch. How mad is that? Yes, we both went on a spray. I'm just listening as I'm wiping down the kitchen after cooking. You know, I perk up when I hear 22. Absolutely. Thinking of Amber Nargile, says Micah. I'll be wearing that soon. Going to take a shower and douse myself in some number 22. Yes, yo, 22 EDT is something else. Just isn't as linear as the EDP. Tell us how you feel, Doc, says Frank. Richie G get too much free stuff. Not too much, but he does get a lot. But would you call vintage Chorus a ball sprayer? I would say it already smells like balls. It's got that ball fucking vibe to it. It has hefty bollocks of its own. Like when you spray it on, it's like getting teabagged. I'm afraid to turn the heat on because my fragrances can go through temperature changes, says Steph's. Well, they should be alright as long as they're locked away like my cupboard. Like, this is like a bureau you see before you. You know? And it's got like a lid that goes up, so they're just like in their own little world. They're in their own little world. Oh my God. Give me some wet. Welcome, eh? How are you? Nolimba Nol in blue, that's lightweight compared to the new Amber Woods. Absolutely it is. It's as if they've doubled down. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe you want to hear me pouring water? I don't know. What do you think? Maybe you don't? I don't know. Does anybody remember that little waterfall that was at the end of Kill Bill 1? Little Japanese waterfall where it fills the bucket and then tips it out and then fills it again and tips it out. That's what I always think when I smell this Dura Rose. There he is. People have been pining for you, Dura Rose, wondering where you are and if you're all right. I told people you were staying away from YouTube, but here you are, making a liar of me. The first time Amber Woods were too much for me was in CK Eternity, that far back. Love Kill Bill 1, says Audrey Jane. Do you know the little waterfall, the little bucket thing that I'm talking about? That scene where they're stood on the snowy thing having a sword fight, and the little bucket fills and then unfills. It's like a swing, not like a swing, like a, I forget what you said. Right between. Don't let me be misunderstood. Please don't let me be misunderstood. Aloha. Happy Thanksgiving week to all. Bois de turkey and drinking black coffee. Hit send too soon, says Scott. Hello, Rich, finishing up. Are you enjoying Bois de turkey? I tried those Healy samples and oh boy, are they great. I want to get some Healy samples. I definitely want to colour that house. Kill Bill is a joke movie. Dura Rose, welcome. Beautiful cinematography. Yeah, it's a great scene. How's it down your way, James, says Michael. Inglourious Bastards is the Tarantino's best movie. I mean, Christopher Waltz. I mean, Jesus. I mean, wow. What a fucking actor. 2 Oscars he's won. He's fucking brilliant. Dura, check out Freighter Works demo formulas. He has GCMS-based forms of frags like Batu and Balenciaga. Tell me what you think. What the hell did you watch about CK, says Prody? Kill Bill Volume 1 is a fun masterpiece. Volume 2 is so slow. It is very slow. Audrey Jane had a weird crush on David Carradine. He died after having a choke wank, didn't he? He was having a chokey wank in a cupboard and it killed him. Oh no. Richie G's asking us if I'm a fan of Werther's Originals. I'm shocked that he doesn't know this about us. Bill likes Thailand. He likes having weird wanks. Hey Michael, nice and clear. How about you? I want Dura's thoughts on some Mitra Parfumi Elegante. Does he like any? If he wants to buy this sample set offers for 120 quid. Yeah, I love Werther's Original. Richie J saying, do you like a Werther's? And I'm like, yes, I do. And he was like, me too. Went through loads as a child. My mama's car had an armrest in the back seat, and we used to keep a stash of them in it. Nice. I used to have to ask for them because I was a thick boy. You know what I mean? I was too thick. I was too thick to enjoy them. It wasn't fair. A choke wank, yes. He hung himself with a belt in a cupboard, in like a oh, where you hang your clothes up? Jesus Christ, like a cupboard. He was hanging himself from there, having a wank, and he has self asphyxiated, a bit like the guy from In Excess, Michael Hutchins. You know what I mean? The silly sausage. Santal Nobile is at the top of my list currently. It's pretty great. There's a partial on British eBay for 60 quid. I am bidding on it, but it's got like 8 people watching, and I've bid like 66 quid. So if anybody's out there and wants to buy it for 67, then you will have defeated me. But I have a excuse me. I have a partial, so I'm all right. Reservoir Dogs, my favorite Tarantino. That's the first one, isn't it? Is it? Or is it the second one? I think it's the second one, actually. Carl, if I try them, I'll share my thoughts with you. He's a perfumer and supplier, says Frank. Bobby, it's when people get off on getting choked, gagged during sexual acts. That's what he died from. That is just not my thing at all. I can't imagine anything worse. Topping 60 now in the chat. I love Tim Roth in it, says Audrey. Yeah, he's definitely one of he's definitely one. Oh yeah, Quentin does like feet. Richie G talks about this all the time. Tim Roth is one of Quentin Tarantino's actors. Like Samuel L. Jackson's one of his actors. Like Christopher Waltz is one of his actors. Yeah. Rich drawing the line at NXS, no talk shite. Well, I mean, he fucking died. He died in a cupboard with something around his neck. Shout out to Rich. Welcome, Nick Brackett. How are you? I hope you are well. Welcome. Have I seen you before, sir? Yes, I have seen you before. What am I talking about? Jesus. Welcome. Frank, I'll do my research. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Discussions on vintage perfumes and autoerotic asphyxiation. Who else can supply the content of this caliber on YouTube? I can't say. I'll just provide the content that I would like to see. You know, it's just, yeah. Michael Madsen is crazy in it. Yes, Michael Madsen's got that kind of madness, like gently lurking in the background, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Never quite loses his temper, but you know it's there. Kind of person, if you were like drowning and he was like stood by the side of the river, he'd stand and like watch. He wouldn't like do anything. I actually know somebody like that. Like a proper, like a genuine. I think he's a genuine psychopath. He's not violent or anything like that, but I think if you were suffering, he would just stand and watch. That's a story for another time, I'm afraid. I'm not getting into that fucker because he was a wee dick. Tarantino has a thing for feet, he certainly does. Rich likes a feather. What? Aussies. Keitel used to be a Tarantino favourite until they fell out. I didn't know they'd fallen out. Audrey, me 2 times. Roth is great in that movie. You like Bruce Willis too, Shane, with what's happened there. Yeah, very sad what's happened. Bruce Willis. If you watch the last film he did, you can see where they've had to feng shui the movie around him. You know what I mean? Anyone holds their breath at climax, raise their hand, says Frank. Frank, are you raising your hand? Frank does rhyme with choke wank. You know? Is that a coincidence? I think not. Oh. I got scratched by Richie G's cat last Friday when I was having a cup of tea at his house. And I was playing with it and I was giving it belly rub. And he got excited and decided to bite us. And he had a bit nibble. And more importantly, he had a scratch. And so, if you know me, you know my immune system does not take kindly to being tested. When I say it doesn't take kindly to it, it cowers in the corner and starts crying. So I have to put on Sudocrem. And as you can see, the cat properly give it some big licks. So here we are. Are you enjoying that tower Nexin? Yes, and I certainly will be. More in the spring and summer. Scars. Yeah, I've got some great scars, to be fair. I've got one right across my wrists that looks like I tried to do away with myself. But I didn't. I was 5 years old and I was running through the house and I fell through a window, like a window pane inside the house. And I put my arm, as I was falling, I put my arms out to stop myself. Just a reflex. And like my hand went through the pane of glass and slashed right across my wrist. It was mental. I don't know if you can see that. If you look at my wrist, can you see it? Absolutely bonkers scar. That used to go right the way around. Then I've got another one there when I got my hand trapped in the engine bay of my car. And I was like, whoa, fuck this. I got a bit spooked. I got my arm trapped and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get stuck here forever. And I was like, bollocks to this. So I just pulled my arm out and it just nearly cut my fucking hand off. That was deeply unwise. I've got another one that's massive on my left arm that goes from my elbow to my wrist, where I fell over on my doorstep. It had been snowing and I fell over on the doorstep. And it was pretty dark, that actually. Like, I've got some pictures somewhere of it. It was fucking minging. Scars, yes, scars. I haven't got any tattoos, but I prefer scars to tattoos anyway. Not that I want any more. Wide hands blocking the full screen. I do. So you can't like my nails then, says Audrey Jane. Don't scratch me. The cat did some work on Rich. Yes, he did. He's called Baymax. Blood phobia. Nick Brackett's got a blood phobia. Well, I also had blood taken today. If anybody wants to see what that did to us, I had a little internal blood, if you can see right there. I had some blood taken today. I got a bloody nose that sends me overboard. I had blood taken because they just can't leave me alone. I am of great interest to the medical minds because I am so fucked. You ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where they do a medical on Mr. Burns and they're like, he's got everything wrong with him? And they were like, he was like, oh, that's fantastic, I'm invincible. And they're like, no, even the slightest breeze might kill you. It's just all of your illnesses are in perfect harmony. And like, if anything, like the slightest breeze, like if your hair moves, you might just keel over. It's kind of like what I'm like. You know what I mean? I'm in perfect harmony, just in a terrible way. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm okay with that. That's just like, I damn near fainted in nurse school once. I had a vaccination at school. It was, fuck knows what it was for. It was for something. It was me BCG or something like that. And there was a few seats outside where the kids who had a funny turn would sit, and all of us were like the colour of eau noir. We were a dark green bunch. And people were laughing as they went past. And I can understand. I'd have creased if I'd seen that. Whatever happened to that bloke? What bloke? You're going to have to narrow it down from that bloke. I know many that blokes. There are many that blokes, trust us. There are an infinite amount of that blokes. I like Audrey's hands, says Frank. That's getting into the realm of Michael Hutchence there, you know. The Bruce Willis role in Pulp Fiction was written for Mickey Rourke, who never got around to reading the script because he was busy preparing for a fight. Same with the stuntman role in Death Proof, says Manly Sense. Wide hands blocking the full screen. Mental girls like scars, I think. Did you get backups of Nexin? Hopefully I will be, yes. Like the stream. Mental. I've got a blood phobia showing skin like the stream, says Frank. Thank you. Yes, if you would like to. Thank you very much. I got a bloody nose that sends me overboard. I lost my blood phobia being a nurse and all, says Frank. I down there fainted in nurse school one time. Outward kilo. If I was in on an operation or something like that, I would be just bleh. Duck defenestration. Amberwood phobia is a thing now, I think. I suffer as well. Hey, have you heard of Pinewood, Rich? Yes, I have. Kelly Lyons did a great 3-part sampling of that stuff. She makes great videos. She's a proper, decent, honest, like, member, hobbyist like we are. She is one of us. Absolutely, she is. They make 4, 17, 37, and 57 mil bottles. What? That would do my OCD in. Absolutely, I would just... I've got goosebumps. Quite nice for us perfume heads. I have heard of Pinewood. Duncan's mentioned them a few times. Yes, Burns, I took care of a billionaire who's in the 90s, kept alive like a damn vampire. He didn't give you a tip, did he? Just think he could give you a couple of million quid and just think nothing of it, and it would change your life. I found who I'm on about. Oh, who was it? Guess who doesn't have a blood phobia? Max 40 says Manly Sense. Ooh. C-sections are pretty gruesome. Yeah. I know a few lasses who have had C-sections, bless them. Yeah. Damn, she did take blood with an ice pick. Did take the blood with an ice pick, says Paroli. Max doesn't drink wine. Frank, it wasn't Hugh Hefner. I wouldn't have thought it was. Was Hugh Hefner a billionaire? Sometimes the baby is huge, apparently. Yes. Yes, huge babies. Scary. I only date women with C-section scars, says Bilbo. Oh, you go. That's a hell of a king. No millionaire, says Juros. Yeah, I thought Hugh Hefner wasn't a billionaire. This Melt My Heart's become very skin, like slightly dirty skin, like unwashed skin, but only for like a day. You know, it's not like somebody's gone a week without a shower. It's not cumin or BO. It's just slightly salty skin. Oh, it's really nice. Is it 300 quid nice? It's certainly not £760 nice. I can tell you that for nothing. Hi, Rich. Hi, old Rich. Do you own any patchouli essential oil or even a sublime oil by any brand? Have you tried anything like that? Yes, I do have a patchouli oil from... I've got two. I've got one from Mellifluence, who is a guy on Etsy, a really good lad, local lad. Forget his name. Abdullah. Changed his name to Abdullah when he converted. When he found God. And... there's another one that I got from Les and Demodable, because when you buy patchouli noisette, they'll send you some of the raw noisette, and they'll send you some of the raw... they will send you some of the raw patchouli as well. So I got the patchouli. I think the patchouli's got this quite... the patchouli's got this, like, it's a little bit like fuel. You know, it's got that kind of viscous... No, not viscous. It's got very thin, runny... I'm not describing this well at all, Jesus. It's got slight pine tar, pine oil kind of thing going on. Rich, I sent you an Osmanthus Absolute. Yes, you fucking did. Absolute VIP. This guy had an in-house nurse and own MD. That's what billions get you. Yes, it is. It's just a shame that some people can't scrape together the money to have... in America, insurance, you know. I just think in the richest countries in the world, why aren't we taking care of our own people? It sounds like a horribly xenophobic thing to say, but, and I don't mean it like that. I don't mean that we shouldn't look out for like other people as well. But I don't know. There just seems to be something. I don't know. I've avoided politics this entire time, so bollocks. I didn't have a C-section, says Audrey Jen. I had to push out my 10-pound, 2-ounce boy. That's a big baby. I was exhausted afterwards. I bet you were. I bet you enjoyed your cup of tea. Did they make you a cup of tea when you were finished? I bet that went down a fucking storm. I remember, I mean, I'm not comparing it to giving birth, but I did have rhizolysis in my spine, which is where they put in fucking like 9 or 10 inch fucking needles, hollow needles, and they put electrodes down through them. They put it into your spinal column, into the sides of your vertebrae where you have these little fucking nerves, and they burn them so you can't feel the pain in your back, and it worked. It really did work. And I had this operation. I was in there for about half an hour, 40 minutes. And I came back out. They turned us back over. I was lying on my thing. They made us sit up. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. And they were like, do you want a cup of tea and a slice of toast? And I ripped their fucking arms off. And I was like, my God. I was like, feed me. And they did. And it was fucking immense. It was just a slice of toast and a cup of tea. I felt incredible. I've never enjoyed anything like that as much as that. It's the simple things, you know, when you've been through some kind of procedure or some kind of moment like that, you know. And they say, do you want a cup of tea and a slice of toast? And you're like, you're fucking right, do I? What fucking more? You know what I mean? Here's another one. Hefner's signature was Eros. His girls chose it probably. Oh God, not. I mean, only after Eros had come out. So what was it before Eros? Ramsey's newest video. Yes, Ramsey has dropped a video, which I would all encourage you to go and watch after this video is finished, which will be about 5-10 minutes. Do you have Feeling Agil by Serge Luton, says Nick Brackett? Yes, I've got 2. And I got them at decent prices as well. I also have Arso by Profumum Roma. That's a fantastic type of that scent. It's not a clone. It's a bit smokier. It's not as sweet. Maybe it's more sweet. I'd have to smell them next to each other. I should do a comparison video. It's not a bad idea, though. Planned obsolescence. Yes, inbuilt obsolescence is a thing. Fuck them all. Hugh Hefner seems like an Aramis man. I can imagine Hugh Hefner, not Koros for some reason, because I get the feeling that he just wouldn't like the stank, you know. Koros, yes. I was £9. Big baby, says Frank. Can't remember how much I was. I'll ask my mum. Can't beat hospital toast. Yes. They made me a cup of tea and toast. Best meal I've ever had. Yes. Something about a cup of tea. I don't know. It's just because we're British, but there's something about having a cup of tea and you're just like, oh, thank God. You know what I mean? Audrey, that will be the next yuppie trend, heading to the hospital for toast. Tell you what, those Tunnocks tea cakes, right? They hit different when they come from the WI. If you go to the Women's Institute and you buy a Tunnocks tea cake, it's just a completely different experience than if you buy them in the shop. I'm telling you, there's something about it. I don't know what to do to them. Probably something like fucking, like some addictive substance, which I'm fine with. But it was fucking, honestly, you get a Tunnocks tea cake from the WI, maybe with a cup of tea as well. Beginning to see a pattern forming here. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Erosmis. Before Eros, I have no idea, but yeah, I can imagine Aramis too. Bevis Store had the hotties. Profumum Roma says scented moments. Yes, I thought of Zhao when I said that. Have you got a Arso, Zhao? Minty CK1 thing. Some bloke will be swooning over Eros in 30 years like Doug is with Balenciaga Pour On. The thing is, Eros is popular. Balenciaga Pour On wasn't. You know what I mean? But I do believe in the theory. I didn't come up with this, but somebody said in 10 years, 20 years, people will be talking about vintage bottles of Sauvage. And there will be. Absolutely there will be. In 10 or 20 years' time, people will be talking about the first batch of Sauvage being better than fucking the ones like hence. Manhunter. You ever seen Manhunter? The one with Brian Cox as Hannibal Lecter. He's really good. It's very different. I mean, Anthony Hopkins obviously made it his own, but Manhunter is very, very good. It's based on Red Dragon. Excuse me, can I book a bed on the maternity ward next to the window for a round of toast, please? The staff at the tea inn were the most popular sight when I spent 2 weeks in hospital. When I went into that ward, which my friend swears wasn't intensive care, and I got hooked up to a what do you call it? What do you call it? A drip. I got hooked up to a drip. All right. The ladies came around with a cup of tea and a bag of crisps, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what do I owe you?" They were like, "No, it's free." And I was just like, I fucking love the NHS. Just, it's not perfect by any means. Just the fact that you can walk into a hospital and just get sorted out for nothing and not have to worry about it whatsoever is one of the great fucking experiences of life. It makes you proud to be British, and there's not much to be proud of at the minute. It really is one of the best things about this country. And I would be I don't know where I would be without it. I certainly wouldn't be sat here talking to yous. I have an arso, says Zhao. Yes, up the arso. Zhao, Rich wants to see your arso. Yes, show me your arso. Currently watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Sealed NIB 100, says Bob. Yeah, says Descendant of the Absurd. Hannibal TV show is also a stunner. Well, Mads Mikkelsen is an underrated actor. Frankly, I had a bottle years ago, probably 10 or so ago. It was a gift. Enjoy it while it lasts. It'll be privatised by the Tories in the next decade. Well, you say that, but I don't know if they're going to be a political party within the next decade. I mean, they're almost dead. They're heading for a bigger defeat than what they got in 1997. If you look at the polls, considering Keir Starmer is one of the most uninspiring people in the entire world. You know what I mean? Interesting to see what he's going to pull out of his arse, though. But the political class are just completely fucking enthralled to the lobbyists. Keir Starmer needed that glitter, to be honest. Are there male nurses in the UK and the USA? We are in demand. Yes, there are. There aren't many. I think the ratio is like 8, 9, 10 to 1. But there are male nurses over here. Absolutely, there are. But we've got another male nurse, Alan Hansen. Alan Hansen's a male nurse. I hope he doesn't mind us saying that. Sorry, Alan, I've just outed you. I'm sure he's all right with it, though. He's amongst friends here. I prefer Eros to Stronger With You, for example, but I don't really care for it. It's that kind of scent that can make you feel sick easy. Yeah, it's just a bit foul. Manhunter, the Michael Mann movie's so cool, but the climax is a music video for a good guy, Davida, and I feel it somehow doesn't fit the rest of the movie. That is spot on as well, where he runs and jumps through the window. That's a really poorly shot. It really does feel like a music video. I know exactly what you mean. But I think the guy who played the guy with the scars, I want toast now, says Audrey Jane. You know, usually after a stream, I'll go down and get some toast, jam on toast after a stream. But not tonight, I don't think. I'm having some, says Audrey Jane, I'm having it. Same here, yeah, Alan discusses it with me. Are there millionaires I prefer else? They somehow always end up back in. Yes, they do, because because British people like to think that's something that they're not. They like to think that they're better than they are, and the Tories represent that. The Tories represent the fucking landed gentry, the upper classes, they represent the fucking old world. They represent upper class. Conservatives in this country are not like conservatives in America. You know, they're clean different things. This is the conservatives are the parties of what you would call the elite over here. They go to all the same schools as each other. They have vested interests. They're all in it together. They look after their own. You know. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. And on that note, friends, I am off. 45 watchers, 45 likes. It is the perfect time to end the stream. I thank you all very much. It has been a great stream. You have cheered me up successfully. I really appreciate it. And I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thanks for keeping us company. And hopefully I will see you all again tomorrow with my final impressions on Maître Parfumier Gantier. See